Hello and welcome back to National Busways West Scotland, here at the Paisley Garage, just west of Glasgow, where it is finally time, I say finally, it was only last episode, but finally time to launch the route that we put in last week. Coming over here, and the game has done a thing. There we go. It is finally time to launch the 11 very long cross-city route between Renfrew, Govan, Cessnock, Glasgow, this bit, I'm good at this, the Lightburn Hospital, and Swinton. And it has a very large vehicle requirement of 24, which I believe makes it, I think, it's not quite the biggest PVR on the network at the moment. I think that goes to the 15. But it is a significant vehicle requirement nonetheless. And it's going to get a significant vehicle type. We are going to be launching the Route 11 with Enviro500s, which, yes, came about in 2002. I was somewhat surprised at that as well. But we have Enviro500. Isn't it lovely? It's quite an old model, and I'm showing you this side because the front door is very pixelated. But there, you know, pixelated, very nice. And National Busways West Scotland, etc. And Paisley with the VTA-Type on the roof. TET stands for TransBus Triaxle. And I think it suits this livery quite nicely. The black goes, the orange goes way too far up on the back, but such is life. And I've tried to do something goofy with the grey skirt on the front, because the skirt is very low on these. And there isn't really a skirt across the front so much, but it's got these sort of corner bumpers instead, so I've painted those grey. And I think it looks quite nice. The Enviro500, the classic one, is quite a nice looking bus, so very glad to have these on the network finally. So let's apply that. And then I need to buy another 10 and then another 4. So, let's go. Boom. This is one of the oldest buses that's on the workshop right now. I say oldest as in like oldest uploads. Like I remember when these were first being uploaded and I didn't really touch them because they didn't have, like, the thumbnail wasn't a picture of the model in the game, it was like a picture of the real life bus. And I was around during the sort of mid to late thousands, you know, the MSTS days, and that was a thing back then. And the reason they did that is because MSTS, when it was new, sure, it was kind of groundbreaking graphically, but it still didn't really look that great. And so that, like, when the thumbnail for a thing is a picture of the real life thing rather than the in-game thing, it does sketch me out a bit. But it doesn't look too bad. It doesn't look too bad, has to be said. So, importing repaint for the final one of these TT types. And these are going to be the first of their type. We could afford that, but I took out literally every single loan, and I played the loan game where I like maxed them out by, like, you know, clicking on the lowest value one and like repaying it and taking out the next one and repaying it until I got something good. So if we look at the loan sitch, every single one is over 200,000. So, I don't think these have working destination blinds, do they? No, it's an old bus. Well, it's not an old bus, it's an old mod. Never mind. Fleet number. This is going to be TT1. And we're going to go with SE SE02 SE02 GLA. Yeah, GLA. Let's give it sort of a very Glasgow referencing license plate because they're a significant bus type. And I'll get these all done in a little jump cut. TT2. And finally we have SE02 GLZ, better known as TT24. So there is our new fleet, and let's go into the 11. And, you know, get it wanting the TT-Type, and then activating it for tomorrow's service, although there may be some shifts this evening that go out. In fact, it's quite likely. So we'll see. And of course the evening shifts are all they're all every 15 minutes rather than every 10 to 12, which is good. So let's edit timetable. And you are wanting TT types. And back to the 11. I have a feeling the 11's going to be very good at spinning the old profit. So, that's the 11 now activated. And I've got a few more routes I want to do today. Obviously, I don't start recording just for the sake of it. And I'm zooming in on Partick because we're doing another renown route. So let's get our beautiful hex code AB6000. And this is going to be, I'm stuck for a route number. I don't know whether the number in the 40s, because the 40 also comes here, or in the 20s, because it will mostly follow the 20. I'm thinking that this is going to be the 29. So, 29, and it's going to be Partick to out here, this place called Cardowan. I'm probably butchering that, but you know. So, Partick to Cardowan. There we go. And it's going to come up along here because there's like no connection up here and it looks really odd. So, filling that little gap. And this is just going to say Partick. There we go. So post me if you don't mind. And there is the 29, running between Partick and Cardowan via Buchanan Street, or Buchanan Street bus station. Really, it goes via Killermont Street. But it's sort of skirting the northern side of central Glasgow like this. Should reduce loadings, because I don't really want to be putting double-deckers down this route, if I can avoid it. So, that is the new 29. It's about 8.5 miles each way, and it takes about 2 hours to do a return journey before I've put any timing points in. So, I'm going to get the timetable done in a happy little jump cut. And the timetable for the 29 is done. And as you can see, on a Sunday, it's got quite a low frequency for a service that goes through central Glasgow, because I do not envisage this route as being particularly major, although it does go to every 15 minutes at peak time on weekdays. So, I think this route has one of the larger deltas between the highest and lowest frequencies. So that's something. And I'm just going to have a look at what the peak time vehicle requirement is. So, the first bus off Partick starts at 6, which is quite late, for me at least. That's because it's biased towards Cardowan. So the earliest departure is actually from Cardowan at 20 minutes past 5. So Cardowan 7:06 does the 7:15, gets to Partick at 8:21 to do the 8:30. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 12 is cutting it fine. 12 is cutting it really fine. But let's go to Polmody Shed 2. And we're not going to run it with renowns. I want to start moving away from them. Although, East Kilbride will hang on to them for as long as possible. So, Marketplace. Solo buses, we're going to use the B7L, it's, you know. We've not broken this out in a while. And I'm going to manage vehicle groups. I'm just going to make VW B7L. There we go. So because we have both here, there we go, VW B7L, and we're going to buy 12 of them. It's been a long time since we bought unbranded B7Ls, but here we are. In fact, I believe the first unbranded B7Ls were the trial, or the only ones, were the trial batch for the original form of the 108, which of course they're now branded, so unbranded B7L returns to the network. And let's do a further couple. No PIS, and they just go into the B7L group. And import repaint. Where is it? Oh, it's right at the top, isn't it? Yeah. There it is. So there's a few routes. And we're not done. We're not done. There's going to be more. Oh dear. The 11 needs assigning, if you couldn't tell by all of that. So let's go to Paisley Shed 2. Assign from this depot, and do we have enough drivers? For today we do, which is good. And these are our new B7Ls. Aren't they lovely? Now I think these are the newest B10 or the newest VWs, so I'm going to go with those. And I'm going to number them straight on, so VW275. We could even say they're part of the same order. It wouldn't make any sense, but that's fun. So this is going to be Glasgow, PO, fleet number VW275, and the license plate SBO2PRF. And I'll get the rest of these done off camera. And finally we have SBO2PRS, better known as VW286. So, there's all the B7s, finally in, all 12 of them. And for once we have a normal livery B7 Gemini next to a normal livery B7 Eclipse, which I think will make quite a nice thumbnail. I just need to shove them way over for the square. There you go. So, these things are pretty. These things are really pretty. I love them. And, well, it's probably time to activate and launch the 29. So, 29 time. 29 time. What an interesting little route this thing is. PO shed to edit timetable, because we need it to prefer specifically the B7s. Good. And of course I've done that thing where it runs less frequently in the evening. Because, you know, that feels realistic. I mean, that happens even in London, so definitely sort of feels somewhat appropriate. So, activate. And there should be a few more runs left today, so we should get both the 11 and the 29 started, like now. But there is one more thing I want to do before we get to all that. And that is to give East Kilbride some attention. Because I've been expanding the night network, and the N108 did surprisingly well as like a circumferential suburban night bus. Like, I was not expecting the N108 to be such a hit. So I wonder if we can replicate that with one of East Kilbride's routes. So, come on, you can do it, game. There we go. So there's the 29. And for the third route of the day, albeit not entirely new, because it's a night bus, and I don't want to put any night services in before the day service. That just feels a bit wrong. Because that's like false coverage at that point. And as much as I've been tempted in past personal saves to engage in a bit of cheaty coverage, you know, stuff, that's not how I really want to play it for the series. You know, we're building up a network, and the coverage we get from that is all good. But the game is struggling right now, probably auto-saving, let's be real. So, the new night bus is going to be the N190 between Paisley and not East Kilbride, Hamilton. Very long route, but it's a night bus, so it shouldn't take too long, and I can quicken the timings up in numerous places. Oh dear. Oh, not again. Okay, so I had one false start. Okay, no, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Oh, the sooner I can get to the time lapse, the better. This is not... I wish all I had to do was watch this. Oh dear. So, we're gonna start it from Paisley Gore Street, rather than over here. That's gonna be a key difference. And it's just gonna come straight down like that to join the route of the 190. Although it's gonna go via here. Go all the way to the main road, please. Thank you. And then, well, post me if you don't mind. And finally, much fighting later, the N190 is now in. So it runs from Paisley but terminating slightly short at Gore Street, and then misses a few stops, misses that stop there on the run down into, I forget what this area is called, but down to Nits Hill Road, and then normal route down through Busby, but its last stop in Busby is Busby Station. Then it misses all of these stops, all the way down into, well into East Kilbride, before picking up all stops again. Then follows the road through the old town centre, before running along the expressway, but much further along the expressway than the normal, or one junction further along the expressway than the normal 210, and then running directly into Hamilton along the route the 210 takes. So it looks, it's, you know, it's a very fragmented route. It's all stops, then there's a fast bit, then it's all stops, then there's a fast bit, then it's all stops, and then there's another fast bit, and then it's one more time all stops into Hamilton. So hopefully that turns out decently. I now have to fight with the timetable system, and I didn't make any notes about when the 190 operates before I started making the route, which I should have done. So I'm gonna go do that, and then I'm gonna make the timetable. And the N190 is done, after much fighting. So, we have 5 timetables just so that I can make it as seamless as possible with the daytime 190, and Monday to Saturday nights it runs every 30 minutes, and then on Sunday nights it runs every hour. So it's a Saturday night tonight, so when we activate it from East Kilbride, which I just remembered I need to select vehicle preferences and whatnot. That's always fun. See, what I was going to say is that we're going to get all of these looked at. The 11's going to start soon, as will the 29, and then this is going to be starting later on. And because it's from EK, it's going to use VWs. Because of course it's a 190, like what else would it use? So, I'll get this activated and I will join you again when we have an 11 to look at. Right, so I've had to relaunch the game, but we're back. So I'm now going to head over to Renfrew on the map and we will find an 11. Hopefully with a relaunched game, performance will be slightly improved. Although I'm not holding my breath. But we'll see. Next departure from Renfrew Town Hall for the 11 is 21:27. Ooh. Nope. Yes, it is 21:27. It's come here an hour before departure. That seems a bit much. And we will get into Swinton at 22:47. So, well, now it's about half an hour until departure. So, not long now. And there's a lot happening in Renfrew. This place is quite busy. Right, now, not long until departure now. There we go, departure time. Let's go. Leaving on time, 4 on board already. Which is decent off the first stop. They don't always have great numbers from stop 1. Although down here it's not that impressive. But there isn't a lot in this area, so maybe that's appropriate. But as we come down through here, there'll be more. Hopefully. I have to bear in mind also that it is very late. So this might be good. I hope it's good. Nice little bit of a timing point there, waiting for a minute or so. Oh, right under us there is this 29, SBO2 PRS. Now we're alongside the 1, hopefully we're going to pick up some more. Because, you know, people who use the 1, it's like, oh, it's the 11, it goes like basically the same way. We picked up 5 there, that's not bad going, really. Picking up 1 there. Where does the 1 stop? Oh, the 1 also stops there. And we have a decent pause there. 25 on board now. 26 on board. That's pretty good. And there, 36. Not bad. And loads of people getting off at Queen Street. And we are going to head to... Oh dear, there's like a chunk of buses all at once. Now that's not entirely what I would want. That's fine, they weren't going all the same way. And that 11 going the other way was doing similar numbers to us, so... Maybe it's just a it's 10:30 thing. But this isn't bad coming down through Duke Street, considering the time, and that we're heading out of London, out of Glasgow. But we are on the bit where we are the only bus route, and there seems to be, you know, people waiting at each stop. That's pretty good. And we're coming up to the Lightburn Hospital, where we join the Edinburgh Road. Cool. More people will be travelling from Tuesday until Thursday. And now we're the only bus, the only route along the Edinburgh Road, so that's pretty good going. And now coming into Swinton, where we have a little stand time there, because if there's traffic on the Edinburgh Road, you'd want that stand time. But that's there. I'm now going to find... Aha. Oh, this is... Surely there's more. Is there another 29 somewhere? There's one. I think this is the last 29 of the night. And this route's doing really well. Although, doing really well in this case isn't always the best, because I don't want this route to be overcrowded. And at the moment it's pulling more passengers than the C4, which is not at all what I wanted. Oh well. Let's see how we go through Glasgow. As you can see there, we're far from the only bus route that goes along whatever road that is. Which one is that? Renfrew Street. Still got 30 on board though. Well, at the very least, this route will be very profitable. Oh, is it autosave time? I think it might be autosave time. That's fun. Yep, it was autosave time. But coming up through this part of, like, north of the Townhead estate, we are the only bus route in the area, so I expect it to get fairly busy now, because we're also the direct link to Royston, which, that might have been an oversight, having the direct route to Royston being a single decker, but oh well. Maybe we can supplement it with something else later. But for now, things are tapering off quite nicely as we get into the suburbs. We're basically not even in Glasgow anymore, we're in Provanmill. Yeah, because this is Steps here, and as we get into Steps, just in front of that Gemini, we turn and head down into Cardowan. I think this bit is still Steps, but unless all of this bit is Cardowan, I think all of it is. Obviously the stops for the church there would be the stops for the railway station. And that's now going back. So now I'm going to head down to Paisley. Oh, if the camera will behave itself, I will head down to Paisley. It's midnight. Aha! There's an N190. Let's see how bad the timing is. Hopefully it's fine. So, yeah, we have decent numbers on board right now. Pretty happy with all that. Not too dissimilar to the numbers that the N108 does. Maybe a bit lower. At this point we are still in Glasgow though. And it looks like we're hovering between on time and a minute late, so it very much could be worse. Where are we? We're just like along Nitz Hill Road or coming up through Giffnock. Or Williamwood? Giffnock? I don't know this part of town very well. It's like I haven't really touched it since I put the 190 in. And that was a while ago. But now we're going fast into East Kilbride, which we were able to manage on time. So that's good. These buses have the performance that I wanted them to have. Probably a bit more. Not that I'm going to push my luck. And then we sit in East Kilbride bus station for a few minutes. Which was a nice little bit of, padding, just to, in case we did pick up a few minutes of delay, that it wouldn't mess things up at the Hamilton end. And now we're on the expressway. All the way into Hamilton. Well, not quite. The expressway sort of goes around the top, but, for a junction further than the normal 210. And hopefully we don't lose too much time in town. 1 minute. Still 1 minute late. Still a minute late. And back on time. Very nice. And that's all good. So, this episode has taken about 2.5 to 3 hours to record. So I'm going to leave it there. And I will see you next week. Bye bye.